All right. Good evening, everybody. Yes, Coco type you got first. Well, technically you're first. That's not me. How you doing, buddy? How's it going? And of course, in true tradition, there's always something when I power up that's not working right. And today my Stream Deck has decided, yeah, I'm not gonna do the things that you do. So I'm hitting buttons to change the scenes, and nothing's happening because life. Ah, jeez. All right, today I'm gonna try and button up a bug and get some screenshots updated here today. You're doing okay. It was a busy Sunday, was it? Well, I don't know. Busy Sunday before Monday doesn't sound good, does it? Doesn't sound good at all. Can we at least say it was a productive Sunday? Is that a doable thing? All right, let's see if this is gonna work here. I need to get some screenshots. Oh, I just noticed that. Never noticed that before. On the mini map there, it'll actually give you scope right there. Look. Interesting. Okay. Productive. Well, I mean, productive can be whatever you want it to be, right? All right, let's get this looking good here. So let's make this something nice for my screenshot here. So we'll call this Monochrome Madness. Description will be high contrast monochrome with shadow. There you go. Let's do that. Okay. Great. That'll be better for a screenshot, but actually it won't be that great. Let's put some numbers in here. Coco Type says it wasn't the right Sunday to only be 23 hours long. That's for sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Woke up this morning and I'm like, oh, yep, lost an hour. That's great. Thank you. Puts me an hour closer to work. That's fantastic, right? Gonna fill these numbers in here. Let's put in and ISO 800. Exposure compensation will be minus half. Let's stop. There you go. Some meaningful numbers. And that's my bug I gotta fix there today. Okay, right. Let me get these screenshots. Okay. One of that. Because what I need to do here is I need to update the screenshots for the onboarding because they're way out of date at this point, right? One of those. Let's go back here. Actually, I got another bug. Look at that. See that bug right there? I'm on the home screen, but it says my first preset. So that's a bug. Didn't know about that bug. All right, let's try that again. Living in Seattle, both DST changes suck. On one you lose an hour, the other you lose the sun for the next 5 months. Yeah, that does kind of suck. Sorry about that. Can't help you. Sorry. Go through a Texas summer and then Okay. Do that. Let's get a screenshot of this one. All right. And actually, let's check and see. So I can do so I've got one for that. I've got one for that. That one's still okay. Editing a preset, I got the new one for that. And then deleting a preset doesn't even have one yet, actually. So let's do one for deleting a preset, because I don't even have that one. All right, that's my screenshots. End of stream. I went through 20-something years of Missouri summers. I have no desire to return. So I don't know what a Missouri summer's like, so you'll have to tell me. But I'm going to assume from what you're saying, it's pretty terrible, right? Hot? I know it gets hot, but that's all I know about Missouri. Sorry. Feel free to educate me on that one. All right, let's have a look at where's my assets? There they are. These are the ones I got to replace. You have to swim to work through what used to be the all right, so 100% humidity it is then. Okay, yeah, nah, screw that. Like I've never been to Houston, believe it or not, and people say about the humidity there, so I'll have to experience that one day. But yeah, no thanks. Me and humidity are not friends. No. I think the closest, the highest humidity I've been other than the Texas summer was in Washington D.C. in August, September timeframe. That was pretty miserable. All right, so it looks like I'm actually weirdly missing my images there. I wonder what happened to those. Okay, so I got to do this. So I'm going to grab these I got the screenshots. I'm going to replace these ones, but it looks like they're missing anyway, which is weird. How did I manage to do that and yet they still appear there? How does that even work? Let's make a group here. Okay, so this is going to be onboarding images. New preset entry. Preset list with one entry. The swipe delete preset. And the single preset details does exist. Okay. Let's open up a graphics editor here. On the other screen, okay. There's all of our little spacecraft. Let's go to, I don't know why the desktop keeps disappearing over here. What's up with that, Mac? Let's open up all these images. Okay. I actually think I prefer it with the frame compared to not having the frame like this one. So I may do it with, I think I'm going to do it. I don't know. I like the fade at the bottom too, but kind of nice having it like this too. All right, let's go through these one by one. So this is the new preset entry. All right. That's going to be that one right there. Okay. Nope. There you go. Problem's going to be that very subtle drop shadow at the top there. Because if I take this off, I just know you're going to see that edge, right? That's what's going to happen here. Yep. So maybe I do have to go with plan B, which is to not have the frame after all. I make weird pseudo frames. I don't remember which app I stole that from. You know, I do have a collection of really nice 3D. I think Meng2 made them. You know, Design to Code has a pack that I've got, which has the aspect ones, which I keep meaning to use, and I never do. And I'm not even sure where I've got them right now, but I know I have somewhere. So I think what I might do, think about this. It would be weird to go up against that edge. Maybe I just put them all in a very nice thin black frame and I'll kill off that curve right there. Would that be weird? That would be a bit weird, right? Or would it? Let's try it. All right, let's try and, oh my gosh. I'm gonna try and draw with my touchpad here. This is gonna go badly. Let's put in little corners here. Maybe I should just find those sort of 3D frames that I have. I don't know. But I mean, this looks okay. At least it's a more accurate, up-to-date screenshot. Just 4 little corners right there. The thing is, it kind of bugs me now because I've got that inner curve that's always a bit weird anyway. But now it looks even weirder because of the straight corner edge of the right angles. I don't know. Don't see, the problem I'm having is I don't think I'm going to like the black against the blue, right? I think that's going to be the problem here. So try something. Just merge those layers together. Got a feeling if I try to do a color selection on the black and remove the black edge and the outside, it's going to have a slight fringe to it because it never quite works perfectly, even with all the trickery you do. And I certainly can't draw very good lines with a touchpad. So let me bring the window over here that I'm seeing. Yeah, it's got a slight fringe, but maybe if I expand it by 1. Okay, if I take this to another, if I take this to another layer, hang on, we gotta bring this dialog over. Oh my goodness, I love how Mac OS just randomly puts like, no, I'm gonna put this dialog on the other screen. Expand it by 2 pixels. It does put it on the inside edge. I can fix the stuff on the inside, that's fine. I don't know. Let's play with this a little more. I really should have plugged a mouse in. Okay. Invert the selection. Yeah, that's not gonna. The other way I can do this is to not have. Is to actually just take essentially the app screen area, right? So what I can do here. Oh, I'm gonna hate doing this with touchpad. Is I could. Whoops, wrong key. I could just do it like that, but that looks weird. Yeah, I don't like that either. At that point, wouldn't it be easier to start over with frameless screenshots anyway? Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. What I can do is what I originally did when I did the screenshots for this. Right, you go in, you get your rectangle tool, you put in a radius, I'm gonna guess 20. And then I just drew the shape over the top that way, right? To kill off the black border. See if I can nail this like I did last time. I actually don't know. Does anyone know the pixel value of the curve on the actual hardware of the iPhone? Oh, regret doing that. Where's my sub selection tool? Oops. A lot more than 30. Oh, now what did I do? Oh my gosh. Hey, Notify, how you doing, buddy? How's your evening going? How was the weekend? Haven't caught your stream in a little while. How are you? Okay, you know what? I'm going to switch to a mouse. I hate doing anything graphical using a touchpad. Hang on. There we go. Doing well, good. Just relaxing today. What are you working on? I am working on 2 things today, I hope. Let me go back here. I'll show you. So number 1 is updating the screenshots for my app here. Let me show you what I'm replacing, since I don't think you've seen this. Let me run this. Stop and run this again. So this is an app. This was an app for myself that I've now decided to put in the store. And I need to update my screenshots for the onboarding because they're way out of date. So this is the first thing I'm doing today, right? So these ones here, I gotta fix this. This has got the old style. All of these are the old style images. So I'm updating those. And then once I've updated those, I got a bug that I need to fix. I think I may have found another bug in the true tradition, right? There's a bug right now where when you edit all the contents on this screen and then you go back to this view is not updating. You have to go back one more and then go back in. So that's the plan to fix these today. And then theoretically, fingers crossed, that's everything I need within the app, but I've still got to get off my butt and do the web pages, and then I can do the store page for it as well. But that should at least be the MVP for the app, the 1.0. So what this is, for those who don't know, on this is I have a camera, the Fujifilm X-T4, and it has presets in there for film simulations, and you can make your own custom ones. But problem is I have so many of them. Yes, so it is a camera app, but it doesn't have a camera in it. It's for storing the presets for the camera, for my actual physical camera. And so that's what all these settings are here. You put them in the camera for the film simulations, and you can store them in the app. You can edit them, delete them, and so on. All that stuff, right? So that you've got it with them out in the field, because you can only put, I think it's a maximum of 7 on the camera, and I got a whole bunch of them. And I've got them written down in a notepad, and it does me no good when I'm out taking pictures. So this way I've got them on my phone. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell, the SDK for the Fuji camera that Fuji provides only lets you remote control the taking of pictures. It doesn't let you change the settings in the camera as far as the film simulations and that kind of thing. Shutter speed, you can change the shutter speed and all that stuff like you normally do on a camera app, right? You can do those, using the SDK to control the camera when you're taking pictures, but it doesn't let you change these presets, which is weird. If they did that, that'd be great, because then I could add the functionality in this app and say, hey, Fuji, you should totally buy this app from me, where you could import and export directly to the camera. Life would be fantastic at that point. But this is the 1.0 version. I already have a list of features for the next version, like adding a sample image, photo image in here that you took so you know what the thing looks like, and all that sort of stuff. But I've been real lazy about finishing this up and shipping it out. I've been using it on my phone for quite a while. So that's what this is. But yeah, right now I'm working on these screenshots and gonna fix this bug. But this app is totally done with SwiftUI, this one. So it's also another good reason to get it out there, right? But yeah, I'm just wrestling with the screenshots here, and I've gone to a mouse because I can't draw for nothing with a touchpad. And I have a graphics tablet, but it's not plugged in at the moment. But I'm just wrestling with this right here because I'm trying to figure out what I want to do as I update these. I don't want the black frame, and I'm sort of looking at this and saying, all right, you know, maybe if I go this route. Did I actually nail the number? Hang on, or is it close enough? No, it's not close enough. But it turns out it's like I wonder what the pixel value is for the curve on the edge of the iPhone. That's what we're working on here. I think I got it. Did I get the right number at last? I think I did. Or close enough. Yeah, you know what? That'll do. All right, good enough. Okay, so the idea here is that I'm just gonna use that as a mask for this one, right? So when I jump this up to a new layer, oh, we are oh so close. All right, I gotta fix it up just a little bit. If I bring the top and the bottom up by about 1 pixel, that'll do it. And then I'm gonna put a shadow on it or something. That's probably what I'll do. So let's go back. We don't have to tell anybody that I've cut a couple of pixels off the iPhone, right? Shh, don't tell anyone. Coco Type says, again, I ask why not just take the screenshot without the border in the first place so you don't have to deal with the fringe. Coco Type, you know me, buddy. Because life is supposed to be difficult. I think when I did the original ones, I took them from the canvas. I think I took them from the live canvas right here. So that's probably why they worked out real good, right? I think that's what I did. I think I took them from there, yeah. But I also a good excuse for doing it this way too is that way I've also got this frame here and this for the things that I need to do for the web page and stuff as well. Command S. Oh, you mean take the screenshot directly in here? Well, I could, but now I've got the satisfaction, Coco Type, of knowing that it might be annoying you that I'm not. And you know me, buddy. If I can drive you crazy and I can't do it with star fields because you fixed it, then I'll do it this way. For those who don't know, I'm teasing Coco Type because he was quite right. We in our game that we work on Wednesday nights in the Sprite Kit, we had the stars. We had the stars in front of the planets, and for the long, we just never fixed it, and it was driving Coco Type nuts because yes, he's right, it was wrong, and in fact, in the end, Coco Type, if I remember rightly, didn't you actually do your own commit to fix it? Because we were just at that point intentionally doing it to annoy you. I'm pretty sure that's what we did, because that's the kind of thing we do, right? Let's try this. See, Coco Type, if I annoy you, I get in far less trouble than when I annoy the folks at work. Although it does have that black notch, and I really hate that black notch now. Yeah. Dang it, I may just have to do this his way just to get it right. You fixed it yourself once. Oh, I did fix it, and then I broke it again, didn't I? Yeah, you're quite right. Yeah. So then you fixed it. Thank you for that. I see. I don't want to do it the other way now because it'll seem like I've done it because he bullied me into doing it. Whereas in reality, I know he's just right. All right, Cocoa Type. Let's do it this way. Okay. I don't think actually I've ever done it this way. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever done it this way in the simulator. Where does it put it? What? Oh, how about that? That's cool. Okay. Hang on. Let me clear all these out. I hate to give in and make Cocoa Type happy. Seems wrong on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening to do that. But okay. Okay, there we go. Right, that's the one I want. All right. So that's what's the keyboard shortcut? Command S. Okay. Kind of ironic that it's bigger than my canvas anyway, right? Okay. Come on, go away. Thank you. Oh, now where's my... Oh my gosh. Too many monitors. There it is. Oh, that's funny. So you're happy to take it that way, but you're not happy to take it when there's no pre-existing image. All right. I see what you did there. All right, Photoshop, you be weird. You know that it's meant to be part of the pain. You're never supposed to make life easier for a developer, right? Apple doesn't do it, so none of us do it. If you just leave it, it'll go to the desktop after a few seconds. Yeah, I can see them stacking up on the desktop. Yeah. Just right click and save, give you a bunch of options. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. We've got the adding of the preset. Editing. Oh, actually, you know what? Hang on. Let's grab the delete while we're here, right? Let's grab this one. That's those three. And then just because I want to make sure that they all match up completely. Oh, couldn't place it because of a disk error? That's a new one. Okay. It did place it though. And then let's get rid of them completely. For our screen there. Okay. And that should be all the ones we need. Xcode makes life enough of a pain. Might as well take the shortcuts when you can. Yeah, that's true. Xcode is still doing that weird thing for me right now. The first time, so anytime I open Xcode, the first time I run the app for a simulator or a device, but it doesn't matter if it's a device connected or whatever it is, it completely complains and loses connection with the simulator, the device, and everything else, and I have to stop it and run it again, and then it's fine. Every time I open Xcode 13. I don't know what that's about. That started about, what, a month ago, I think it was? Yeah. Okay, so let's export these. We can do this as a PNG. Come on, Photoshop. And now this is where like 3,000 external drives spin up and we have to wait 3 hours, right? Okay, new preset. Nope, sorry. Main menu. What version of Xcode are you running? I've been sticking with 13.1. Mine's the latest. 13, is it 13.3.1? 13.2.1. There you go. Yeah. You know, funny now you say that. Notify. If maybe it was the last update that did it for me. That's a good point. I need to go back a version and try it because it never used to. That's a good point. Thank you for that. I'm gonna have to go back and try that now. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back over here. Right. So let's find my onboarding screen. Do I really need? I don't think I really need the gray on there. Okay, so that's okay. Good. Which one's this? This is the empty preset list. All right. Assets, empty preset list. Oh, look, that image is there. All right. Edit preset entry. Da, da, da. Okay, let's move those in there. Gonna update this one with that one. Place those in there, should be fine. All right, that's that one. Let's take the one with the description. And of course, I'm completely stalling here so that I don't have to go and try and fix my bug in front of everybody. Let's just acknowledge that that's the other thing I'm doing. Oh, wait, I'm missing some layers here. And actually, I don't like that one. Let's do this again. Nice low contrast. Old image fill. Completely lying, but okay. Shh. Don't tell anyone. Uh, 5400 daylight. 800 for a little bit of grain, and then minus half a stop. Okay. Before we go any further, let's take that one. Perfect. All right. Okay, add new preset. Yep, great. New preset entry with missing graphic that still works for some reason. Weird. Maybe I forgot to check them into source control, but I thought I did. Create a preset. Da, da, da. We've still got to do the editing, the delete, and that one. All right. Yeah, okay, that'll do. Swipe to delete. Okay, that's that one. That should be that. Which doesn't have the image yet. I've still got to add it there. Edit. Yep. I know what's going to happen. After about a day, I'm going to say to myself, you know what? I got to go back and I really do need to put on those little highlights with the shadows. That's probably going to be what I do because I know me. Because, yeah, you can't see it on that, can you? Yeah, I'm already hating that one. Create a preset. Isn't it terrible when we empower ourselves to change our minds all the time? Suddenly those, product folks who tell us what to do that we hate the rest of the time save us some of this trouble. All right, single preset details. Yeah, that's the one. Actually, it's the same shot. I might as well just use it. Well, no, because I am going to add the shadow to the other one. I've decided. So where'd my dialogue go? Come on. Preset details. All right. I don't think I can stall fixing that bug much longer. Okay, it should be here. Yep. Also here. Yep. Creating the preset. Yep. Editing. Got to fix that one still. And then the delete. All right, let's run this. Let's take a look. Coco Type says, I'd rather make 2 stupid decisions before getting to a good one than a product manager making one stupid decision and having to live with it forever. Oh, I dare not comment in case any of my product folks see the video. Is that a total cop-out on my part? I like my product folks, just in case they do see the video. But I do. All right. Updated. Totally got to fix that one there, make it bigger. Swipe to delete. Oh man, they're awful small, aren't they? I think I got to use this on a device for a few days to see how I feel about it. Okay. But it's better. At least it's better, and they're now more up to date than they were. Let's go ahead and check these in. 35? What? Oh, well, I guess they do add out, don't they? Okay. I'll trust it. I probably shouldn't trust it. Oh, my credentials ran out, didn't they? Yeah. All right. I'll come back to that because foolishly I took GitHub's recommendation. This has bitten me twice this week. GitHub's recommendation, you know, when you create those tokens and it says, hey, you really should make these expire. Yeah, and then they all expire at the same time. Coco Type says I don't have any product managers I directly work with right now, so no one to make mad, but I have to deal with the bad decisions from ones on other teams. But that's not so bad. I mean, well, now I mean it's bad, but yeah, not having your own product managers, boy, you're lucky, buddy. Or unlucky. I don't know. Depends which way you want to look at it, I guess. I have an abundance of them. It's just like when, you know, everybody's got an opinion, right? Someone asks me, it's like, you got an opinion? Of course I've got an opinion. I've always got an opinion. So there's that. Okay, we're going to go with this for now. But before I go any further, let me save this file and close Photoshop because I just know Photoshop's going to chew away memory or something. And I'll take a look at that shadow highlight on there some other time. We're going to call this new onboarding shots. That'll do for now. Just Command F, put a bunch in that one. Not on stream. Don't do it on stream. Yeah, I'm totally gonna do it on stream, right? Yeah. Okay, so my bug. Let's take a look at my bug. That's the assets updated there. Let's get rid of these. So the bug is an interesting one, and if I can replicate the new one that I found, let's add another preset. All right. So my second preset. Not going to fill this in completely. I'm just going to do this like this for now. Save it. Okay. So I've got two like this. And let's say I go in, everything looks good here. And then I say, you know what? I want to change something. I'm going to change this dynamic range to 2. And let's do this one at a time. So I'm going to change the dynamic range to 2 and update it. Doesn't update the screen here because somehow along the way, I've messed up my state. I'm sure I have. But if I go back and go in, it does update, right? Let's just make sure it's consistent. So -2 on the highlight. Okay, so I've screwed up my state notification somehow on this screen. That's what's going on there. Then let's just make sure it's all the fields. So let's just put edited on there. And my second preset, edited. Oh, that's interesting. So wait. Why did it take me back to the list that time? Shadow -3. Update goes there. Edit the description. Takes me back to the list. That's bizarre. I'm going to think about that. That is unexpected. Okay, let's take a look at this. That is not what I was thinking was the problem. So I edit my preset here, right? Down here, we get the data to update the preset. We edit the preset, give it the new data, right? Oh, sorry, that's a preview. Sorry, right. We call the function here to update the preset. We try to save the file. And then we dismiss it. So why is it being dismissed? But why am I seeing two different outcomes? They both successfully get saved to the file. Yet this is doing two different things. Right? That is what I'm seeing, I think. I'm on here, yeah. So why do I get two different outcomes? Let's take a look at that. Okay, we go in, hit the edit. I'm not going to do anything. I hit the update. We hit our breakpoint, sort of. Yep. Perfectly normal. I'm going to go in. I edit my second preset. Change it. Update it. Hit the same breakpoint, right? Yep. Go over it. And I go back to the list. All right. Let's go in. Change the dynamic range to 0. It's the only change I'm going to make. Hit update. Same breakpoint. Run it and it stays there. Ooh, this is not what I thought was going to be the outcome of this bug. Okay. It is, I mean, it's still dismissing the view, but why do I end up at two different places? And yet it is successfully edited. Maybe I got a bigger and different mystery than the one that I thought that I had. I thought for sure this was just going to be a state issue, boom, no problem. I did not expect this to. So I'm dismissing the presentation mode, but it's like it's dismissing this one as well, which would bring me back to here. Is that right? Is that what happens? When you hit the back button here, I know it's built into the navigation, but isn't it essentially dismissing a view? Just popping it off the stack? And yet we're hitting the same breakpoint every time. Let's take a look and see. Can I see what that wrapped value is, maybe? Right? Can you do that? Presentation mode. Value. Does it let me get in? Will it tell me what it is? Maybe it doesn't. I was kind of hoping it would tell me. All right. I'm going to grab a bottle of water here. I'll be right back, folks. Oh, Stream Deck isn't working. Hang on. I got to do this the hard way. I got to click buttons. Click buttons? What's that about? I'll be right back. I see. I know Coco Type is distracted because he totally missed out on his opportunity there. Normal, what happened to all the caps while I was gone, Coco Type? You watch, he's going to flood me with caps now. I know he is. Let's see, is this working now? Oh, okay, so here's the weird part. My Stream Deck, I must have changed some. Oh, I know what it is. I'm using Streamlabs software, and I think it syncs to the cloud, and I was on Windows earlier, I'm on Mac again now, and I think it screws up. There's something not right with the syncing, and it screws up the scenes because all of these completely win. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Okay, anyway. All right, back to my problem here. So, how am I ending up going to two different places? And does it make sense? Is the answer probably no, because it seems like a cop-out here. Is the answer to replace this with just actually saying, look, go back to the preset or just details, or go back to the list view, and instead of just telling it pop off the last one, in case for some reason it is popping 2 off of the navigation. And yes, that's an assumption right now by me. I admit that it's popping 2 off, but kind of looks like maybe that's what's going on there a bit. Let's keep that breakpoint there, but let's stop this. Because if I'm on my preset list, there's my loop. Oh, I think that's why I did it this way, because yeah, the navigation link, I can add a navigation link there and set the destination if you click it, but of course that's not what's going on over here. When you edit the preset, we're actually telling it here. So now I got to test my brain, try and remember with the Swift for, well, actually maybe that is that the correct, basically, is that just, instead of popping off here when it hits the save, when I hit the save up in the navigation, maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. This, I think yeah, folks, I think I got this wrong. So I'm gonna slap myself on the wrist here, because this function to update the preset really should just update the preset. It shouldn't have any business doing the navigation. But I bet what happened was I put this in here thinking to myself, well, look, if it successfully saved it, go ahead and do the navigation, which is still wrong because I shouldn't do it that way anyway. Or at least it feels wrong. Yes, Coco Type, it's a foul. Thank you. But is my sanity check? Am I right here? Really, I'm really doing two things here, and I shouldn't be, right? Is what this comes down to. And I think that I got a theory. Let me comment this out. Let's get rid of this for now, because I don't think that needs to be there, because it shouldn't be, because that's all about the business of saving it, and the navigation should be elsewhere. But I'm wondering if the navigation just works. Let's test it. So it's going to save it when I'm clicking there because we're calling that code. My second preset edited. If I update it, oh, well, actually, that is still not what I expect. What's going on here? It did update it, right? Did it? It's actually doing the right thing here. Well, okay, it's questionable because it depends what screen you want to go to, but that's correct. No changes here. Sorry, no changes here when I hit update, so nothing to do. Question is, what's going to happen now, right? This is the point here where before it would take me back to show me the details. Coco Type says, sorry, as you suspected earlier, I'm distracted right now and haven't had 100% followed the code so far. Coco Type, you know my history. It's okay. Well, we've spent enough time watching each other's streams to know that you don't have to see my code to know that it was wrong, right? Can we agree on that? As long as we agree on it, you don't have to pay attention. We both know. All right, so let's change dynamic range to 4. Okay, so how's this? Okay, so I definitely don't need that line of code in there for starters. But this is weird. I've solved my original bug is fixed, but I still have this other one that I didn't know about anyway, right? Because it updated it. So put this to 0, plus 4 will now be 0. My state is now working correctly because I've gone back and the state's updated and this is correct. But it's totally bizarre. Is it something to do with the entry fields? Let's put in an ISO of 800, right? It's a freeform entry field. Update. No, that one went back. What is it about these first 2 boxes here? Oh. Wait. I think I know what it is. Did you see the light bulb? Hang on. I think I got half a clue. I mean, that's what I wanted to do. He waits. I think. Okay, let me look before I explain it, and then we both can all discover I'm completely wrong together. The edit preset. Nope, it's not what I thought. Here's what I was thinking. You may recall in a previous time, I had a component that I was using, right? The text entry component here. And I just thought for a minute, maybe those first 2 were the text entry components and the rest below it weren't. And that's where my bug was. The bug was actually in the component, not in that view. Turns out I'm completely wrong. So let's go back. Okay, so let's do this. Well, let's change everything except any freeform entry fields. I'm going to put everything to -4. We'll put those to weak. I'll leave those as they are. Update it. Okay, colors -3, clarity is -3, but I think that's the limits on those. Yeah, -3, -3. Okay, and those all work correctly, and I went back to this view. That is totally planned, expected behavior. Okay. Clear this one out. Let's put this to 400. We'll put the white balance to 1, 1, 5400. Green effect to 3. I get those numbers don't mean anything to any of you. Don't worry, it's fine. It's something on the camera. Anything I've not changed is those first 2, and I'm back here. Now let's change the description. This is the second preset description edited. I got a feeling I'm going to go back to the list of presets here. Yeah. I know why. I got it. I don't know the solution. it's going back to this screen because the state of this screen at the bottom of the stack has changed, right? When I'm editing a preset here and I'm not editing those, that data hasn't changed, right? But the preset name and the description are the only things that appear on this list. And therefore, when I change those, this list view at the bottom of the stack, the state of it has changed and it's repainted the view. And so therefore, SwiftUI says, hey, the state has changed. I need to repaint this view for you. And that's why I'm seeing this one instead of the editing view. Look at me being all clever and smart on a Sunday afternoon. Doesn't solve the problem for me, but at least I figured out what the problem is. Wow. That's my, dang, I'm going to have a terrible week because that's my moment of genius right there for the entire week. Come and gone. You only get one of them, and that was mine. Okay, that's what that is. Dang, it makes so much sense now, doesn't it? So how do I tell it not to do that? Because SwiftUI is doing exactly what SwiftUI was designed to do. The state changed, it updated the view. And I do want it to update the view, but not this one. But this one exists in the stack, and that's why it's being updated at the bottom of the stack. Yeah, one light bulb per week maximum notify. You're right, that's my light bulb. I can't write any more code all week. That's it, simple as that. Sorry, gonna have to call in sick. Okay, let's think about this. So I've got a view that's updating. And I do want it to update. I just don't want to see it. And the problem is, because of the way the navigation works, of course that's why it's there, right? It still exists. The other question here is, and this is a question for the chat room. If you was a user of this app, how much would that bug you that I shouldn't ship it like that to get it out the door as an MVP? This falls in my irritating list of bugs, but it's not a showstopper. Especially now that I understand it, I just need to wait for CocoaType to fix it for me. That's going to get his attention. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so. Oh, it did. Yeah, see, there you go. CocoaType. I'm sorry, buddy. I knew if I said your name, I just wanted to test it and see. You'd be like, what? Okay. And I'm pretty sure that's my last remaining bug. Dang. I was hoping to find so many things that would be like, oh, great, I can't ship this yet. I hate it when the stars align to do everything that they should so that you can ship something and you've got no excuse not to, but you really want excuses to not do it, right? I'm not sure your theory makes sense to me. Okay, CocoaType, I think it does. Although, I'd actually be slightly happier if it didn't. But I really think that's what it's doing. Let me think. I need to whiteboard this. Hold on. Let me think for a second. Okay, let me draw this out. See if I still make sense to myself. What does state changing on an earlier screen have to do with the nav stack? Well, if I'm understanding it correctly, because that earlier screen still exists in the nav stack and the state of it has changed because the data that's on that screen is one of the elements that I edited. It's repainting that screen and redisplaying it, even though maybe arguably it shouldn't redisplay it, right? Give me 1 second here and let me all right. Oh, I'm going to draw really badly. Oh, wait. I could have an excuse to do this with my iPad here. Give me 1 second. And redisplaying it is the bit I have issue with. What about the state changing? What about the state changing is making it get redisplayed? Well, that's where my gray area is. I don't think it should, but it feels like that's what it's doing. I can prove it. Hang on. I don't even need to do this. I know how I can prove this. Let me close out these. Hang on. If I go back to my, let me go to my preset list, right? So my preset list has the name and the description right now. Well, if I comment out the description and edit the description, my theory is it won't go back to the list screen because the description field is not one of the displayed items that changed. This will answer it right here. Oh, except I didn't comment out the whole thing, did I? Wait. Did I comment out only part of the thing? I think I did. I commented out that part there by mistake. Okay. You got too many lines. Yeah, thank you. Now you're paying attention. Now I start making mistakes. He pays attention. Okay, so actually, I kind of like that clean look, but anyway. If I edit the name, it's going to go back to the list. Right? If I edit the description, and my theory is right, this won't go back to the list now. All right, let's just make this blah. Forget my theory. But actually, you know what? Maybe my theory still holds because I think the data still exists here. Because that's the only thing that makes this the only thing that's different between those two fields, the name and the description, and all of these other ones, right? If I edit any of these other ones, it goes back to the right place. It's only the first two fields here that cause it to go back there. I still think there's a connection. But I think, did you have a line of code that pops off the stack? I did, but I've removed it. Let me put this back in before I go any further. I'll show you. I did have one in the edit preset way down here. This one right here was like this, right? So after it did the save, I was dismissing the presentation currently presented one, which is the edit. But interestingly enough, when I commented out, it still performs exactly the same because it's responding to the navigation bar at the top. Makes sense? So I actually don't think that line of code was even mattered, actually. I thought this was executing, plus the navigation was executing. That was my original theory, and I was navigating twice. But I now don't believe that to be the case. I actually don't think this was either doing anything or was doing something that had no effect. So now, now I think it's to do with the navigation up here, this one right here. There's something to do with the data changing in these two fields at the top here that sends it back here. I mean, again, I don't think it's the end of the world, but I don't want it. It's not my desired behavior, and I don't like mysteries. Which is why I still think it has something to do with this, the state change. What's pushing that view in the first place? What's pushing which view? What's pushing the edit view? Pushing out of this view? Is that what you mean, Coco Type? And that's a good question, because I thought it was this, but I don't think that's actually the case. Yeah, the edit view, yeah. I thought it was this, but it's not. It's actually, entering into the edit view? Okay, so you mean going from here. Okay, so on the details view, there is a toolbar item, edit preset, right? And so this one right here, this navigation link has a destination of the edit preset view, right? The one we were looking at, and it just hands off the data. So the data is essentially being, I'm essentially ejecting. I'm essentially injecting, oh my God, I can't even talk. I'm essentially sending the data into the view, right? And is it a navigation link to get to details as well? Yeah, so when you are on the preset list, is that one right there? When you tap one of those presets, there's a navigation link right here, right? That's that navigation link right there, which goes to the details view, which sends in a presentation ID and does it that way, right? So they're all navigation links. Yeah, they're all navigation links. But the weird one is definitely the edit preset, where when you edit the preset, let me find it here again, hang on. Bear with me. I'm looking for the, oh, here it is, toolbar item, right? Except this one is different. This one calls the update preset, which is right here. And that's why I thought this line of code was doing the navigation. Doesn't look like it. You got nothing. Yes, I know, right? If it was the thing that bugs me about it the most, it's not consistent. If it was consistently right or consistently wrong, I'd be a whole lot happier, because I'd either have a problem to fix or no problem. But this one is, everything's correct, does everything I want it to do, and solves my original bug that I was going to fix today, except for those two top fields, which is what confuses me. Again, it's not a showstopper. Personally, I'd find it weird as a user, but it's not the end of the world. It's only one tap to get back to where I was. It's more of a little wrinkle irritation than complete failure of the app. You know what I mean? But I just don't, also, I'm sure you're all the same. I don't like shipping things with known bugs, and if I can do something about it. And this is my timeline. This is not something that I have to, it's not like day job where you have to like, oh shit, gotta ship, you know. Notify says, I've experienced a couple of issues with navigation link as well. Mostly them instantiating the detail before the user taps on it. Oh, really? I've not seen that. That's interesting. I feel like my area of focus has to be investigating this navigation link, because I swear I thought this was doing it. This was what was happening. This is one of those where you put a line of code in, you think that that's what's doing the navigation, and it turns out, nope. Just the fact that you click the navigation link means it's navigating regardless of the outcome of saving it, because I wouldn't want to navigate away from this screen if there was some kind of save failure, right? I mean, that makes sense. And yet, if I don't edit anything on this screen at all and hit the link, nothing happens, which is kind of what you'd want, right? You know, there's nothing to save. But it is a bit of a weird inconsistency within the navigation itself, given that I didn't write any code to make anything happen. It's just the inherent behavior, the way the navigation link works. So maybe there are some underlying bugs in there. Maybe there's some known issues and I need to go do some research and see if there's something there and a workaround. You know, something I didn't do. Let's put a breakpoint here. See if this line of code ever actually executes. That's a question as well, right? It executes there, funny enough, but it executes there and does the correct thing, goes back to this list, right? If I change something, it's there, but that's not what caused that to happen, because we get the same thing even if I comment out this line of code. That's the weirdness. What if, oops, let's get rid of the breakpoint. Maybe, you know, for starters, maybe I'm completely wrong, because now as I read this, that should be there anyway, right? You don't want it to happen regardless. If there is an error here, which I haven't written a cache for yet, but if there is an error, I should not leave this screen, right? We'll test this. CocoType says, so you're saying there's currently nothing dismissing that view? Well, that's an assumption on my part, because I know that I don't have a line of code that I've written dismissing the view. Currently being when the line is commented out. Yes, exactly. When it's commented out, there's no code from me at that point, except the save, right? But let's try this in here. So, because I feel like I haven't tested every scenario, right? So we go in, I'm not going to change anything, but it's going to try and save it. I think it's going to navigate if it saves successfully. Oh, and it did, but it navigated forward. Oh, no, sorry. I was one click too early. Right. And it goes back. That is what I would, normal behavior is what I would call that, right? And yet there's our behavior going back to the list, but it updated. Again, let's go in. Let's change something other than those first two boxes. We'll change that to a -1. It does the right thing. Goes back here, but I've got that inconsistency where it's not updated. But if I go forward, I've got the -1, right? And I think that's, I don't need that line of code. Here's the interesting part now, though. I think if I understand this, what's going to happen here, I'm not going to change anything, and I'm going to hit this. I don't think it's going to navigate now. Sorry, on this one, I don't think it's going to navigate, and it doesn't. But if I change it, I think now it's going to navigate back to the list. Yeah. And if I change one of the other fields, so let's take dynamic range to 0, I think if I do this, it's going to change it, update the data, but take me back to details view. And it does. right? So +1 takes me back correctly, and it's updated the data. This is weird. That is correct. That is what I would expect it to do. But I would expect it to do it for those top two as well. This is totally freaking nuts. And that works correctly. Is that update button only calling update preset? I'm going to say yes, based on this code right here, right? So on the toolbar, we've got a toolbar item set to the trailing with a button, and that button calls the update preset, which is that code right there. The only thing that I can think of, maybe, how about this? And I don't know, a little bit of a sort of a guessing game here, but could it be the problem is that it's a button, not a navigation link, and therefore a button is being executed, and it's making the call to update preset, and because it's sitting, its parent is a navigation item, it's trying to execute navigation as well. That's my only other theory that I've got. You wouldn't want it to be a navigation link. I don't think I'd want it to be a navigation link either. I think I'd want it to be a button, but I'm wondering if I'm getting a 2-for-1 deal here, and I just don't realize that I'm getting that 2-for-1 deal. Does that make sense? Right. So, like, for example, let's just comment this out. I guess I can test it, right? If I put in a text label, just something. Nothing to click because it's a text label. Let's just make sure. Yeah. So, okay, I don't think I'm getting a double execution anywhere, as in a button and a navigation. I don't think that's what's happening, right? But I think part of the reason for to me, the most obvious reason to not have a navigation link is, I think if it was a navigation link, I couldn't call a function like that. I think I could only tell it to navigate, which is why, to me, unless I'm completely crazy, it makes sense to have that as a button. But if I look at my add preset and go down to my navigation items on here, yeah, see, look. So for the saving of the preset, I got a button and it works just fine. CocoType says a navigation link would push something new on anyway, not pop backwards. Oh, good point. Thank you. Yes, I completely overlooked that. Right. The last thing we want to do is go forward again. Yeah. And essentially stack the same screen on top of itself. That doesn't do any good at all. But this button here, same thing, and this one works. Now, the problem with this one, though, is the expected behavior when I save is to go back to the list. This could be happening here as well, and I wouldn't even know it because I am going back to the right place. Can you show update preset again? Yeah. You mean the function, right? Yeah. Right, so we're just creating a new instance of our preset with all the data. And then we update that in our data. We tell it to save that to the JSON file, which it does. And that's it. So arguably, where is that navigation coming from? Why is it navigating right now is one of the questions, I guess. Because I'm not popping anything off the stack at that point, and yet it's still navigating. What does that other update preset look like? What do you mean, what does that other update preset look like? Oh, you mean this one right here in the preset list data? Yeah, okay. You gotta find it here now. Oh, wait, same one. Sorry, I'm in the same place. Yeah, let me show you. Preset list data. So it's a class, and in there, what it does is we find the ID for the one that the preset we're editing, and then we say, all right, replace it with the data that I'm giving you. That's it. Well, that should be it. So it's just, yeah, it's just replacing that data set for that particular row in the array with that one. And then back in the other function, we save it the JSON, the new JSON file. Observable object, does the preset list have this as a state? Yeah, I think it does, right? I think you have to for it to work. Sorry, it's got an environment object. I think I'm coming around to your original theory. Oh, dude, sorry. If you're coming around to my way of thinking, we're all doomed. Oh, see this, and because it's an environment object, that is probably why I thought to myself, wait a minute, that's why we're updating and showing this view again. But problem is, you talked me out of it, and now I'm talking you into it. What puts that into the environment? If I remember rightly, it is in my hang on, bear with me. It is in the setup for the app. Give me a second. Here it is, right? So we've got the content view, the initial setup, right? We're hiding the onboarding. We've got the content view. We set up the environment object with an instantiation of the preset list data so that it's available throughout the app. Make sense? Oh, hold on. Wait, so edit preset has the environment object. Displaying the details view should also have it. Oh no, so the displaying it, wait. Displaying it on the details view, I don't have it as a environment object because I'm actually passing in the preset itself to be displayed and populate the screen. What creates your navigation view? Hold on. It's going to be my top level view, which is going to be, hold on, I got to find it here. Content view, there it is. So the content view has the preset list view wrapped in navigation, right? Top level. Content view being the parent view of everything, of course. Man, these are good questions. I'm glad I'm remembering this much about my own code. And as I'm thinking about this, it wouldn't make any sense to have the navigation view, like if preset list view was the top level here, and inside the preset list was the navigation view, I don't think that would make any sense. Why does this have the preset list data? You know, I'm not sure I have the answer to that. Yeah, I don't know why it does either. But you see why I was saying about how I was thinking that this triggers the repaint because this changes, right? But if that was true, it wouldn't be editing those first two fields that causes that. It would be editing any of those fields should have the same outcome and trigger the refresh. And I'm with you, right? You don't think it's relevant, but it seems odd. I got to be honest, right now as I sit here, I don't remember why I got that there either. I don't think that one will change since that's not the environment one. Right. I think it should only be changing at this level. I'm curious now because I can't answer your question as to why I put that one in there. So let's see if it breaks anything. Let's test the functionality. This is a description. And let's change that to +4. Save it. So that all worked. But let's make sure we didn't break anything persistence-wise. Great. Let's take this one off to get rid of that. Let's go in. I'm going to run my tests here, right? So do that, update it. Yep. Preset number 2. Okay. Same thing. Still does the same thing. But it hasn't broken anything. So at least we can agree, yeah, I don't know why that's there either. I'll be honest, when I put that there, you know, bear in mind this is my first completely SwiftUI based app. I may have put that there thinking it has to be there, if I was to be honest. That's my only reasoning right now. But either way, taking it out didn't change the outcome of the problem. I think I got to do some homework on this, and it just doesn't. The thing that really bugs me, and I always believe in my gut when I got problems like this, is those first two fields when you're editing are the only ones that cause this. All the others changing, which is the same set of data, doesn't cause it. Can we see edit preset again? The pair programming over Twitch chat is oddly fun. It's oddly fun for you because you're not the one that's got the bug. However, you're absolutely right, because you're where I am now. I have just as much fun when I'm trying to help you solve the problem, Coco type. Hey, Nicholas, how you doing, buddy? How's your weekend going? All right, he wanted to see edit preset again. Yeah, okay. Hey, Coco type, maybe that's it. Maybe we hand this off to Nicholas, right? I feel like I'm just as invested in this bug as you are at this point. No, I think you've mistaken the word invested as crazily obsessed. This is normally the point where I'm sitting here thinking to myself, and I know this works the other way around when I'm watching other people's streams, and you're like, okay, somebody watching the stream in the chat room is going to have a moment of divine intervention and realize what the problem is. Kind of banking on that right now. Hey, Cal, I see you lurking around in the background there. How you doing, buddy? So much fun watching you suffer. I only do. You know, Cal, the truth is, Coco Type and I, we make these bugs to just satisfy your need to watch us suffer. Why does this one have the environment object? Isn't it passed into the detail? It is passed into the detail, yes. But you're asking a fair question. Let's repeat the exercise. All right. Let's try it again. Oh, okay. No, wait. Something broke. Good news. We had some code there for a reason. Preset list data. Oh, you know what? Because down here. Hang on. Oh, I know why. Wow, I actually know this one. So the reason we have this here is because way down here in the save, right? Update preset. We need access to the preset list data. That's why it's there. Yes. Notifies content. Okay. Asking unfair questions is fun, but less productive. Yeah, that's true. But let's face it. You know, for those of us that all do in the chat room right now, who do streaming on Twitch, we also all completely get satisfaction out of watching someone else trying to solve a bug, sitting there thinking, thank goodness it's someone else that's got a bug right now and not me, right? Because you know this is what happens. Next time around, it's your turn to figure out what's happening with this bug. And the thing is, I know for a fact that all of you in the chat room are exceptionally smart and I hold in high regard. So, and I consider all of you to be better at Swift than I am. So if you can't figure it out, maybe at least I can take solace in the fact that, okay, it's not completely stupid. What do the text field constructors look like? For the first two items you're talking about? So, fair question. Let's go in here. I have not updated the Z-stacks on these yet, and I do need to at some point because I don't need them. The Z-stacks existed for the old layout, and I have not stripped them out of here yet, right? But essentially, they're redundant, doing nothing at this point. Cal says, we're not alone in this path of suffering. No, we're all in it together. It's just that sometimes we like someone else to be that one step further down the path of destruction than us, right, Cal? What is $name? Right. Hang on. Let me get my head into this. Where are you seeing $name? Oh, right here. That is here, right? So we come into the view, we instantiate the view with the data. We're just setting our local variables to that, right, from the incoming so that it populates it on the screen. Make sense? Right? So that's just our text that gets pre-populated in here. However, later on, it is also used, obviously, we use that same local variable to update. Catch is, that is also the same for all of the other fields, including the ones that we know work as we expect. So for example, like dynamic range, right? Which is one that we know works correctly. This one here, DR, right? Same thing, comes in here, gets set down here somewhere. Where is it? There it is, right? So, except this one is a picker, all right? But we're setting it the same. I'm hung up on the why does the text field act differently? Yeah, I'm completely hung up on why do, and especially Cocoa type, why do the top two text fields behave differently than the text fields at the bottom, right? Because remember, they're not the only text fields on the screen. That's the other part here. We go in here and we edit this, right? These are the two troublesome ones. All of these down here, this is a text field, these are text fields, and these ones perform correctly. That's why I was saying earlier on, when I was hoping that the problem was going to be that I had used a different component here. And I could go, oh, you know what, this is a different component, but we've got a text field and text, and let's make sure, sanity check here for me. Oh, come on, Xcode, don't you dare crash. Hey, CocoType, I think I finally crashed Xcode on my stream to catch up with you. No, it's caught up. Okay. But down here, let's go to the last one. So text, field, and text, same thing. Then this has to be tied to the fact that those two are the ones that are used in the preset list and not the others. But CocoType, you talked me out of it, and now you've talked yourself into it. No, I still believe it's too much of a coincidence that that list view, well, even though I disabled the description, it's too much of a coincidence that those two fields are these two fields here. Too much of a coincidence. I could go away, restructure some code here so that this view shows a different fields and see if the problem moves along to those other fields and not these ones. That's the only thing I can think to do to completely test that theory. What does preset list look like again? When you say preset list, oh, you mean preset list. Okay. So we've got the environment object. We get the count, right? If the count is 0, we show my little display that says you need to add some. Otherwise, it's a list view. And in the list view, we've just got a for each loop that goes through, pulls the name and pulls the description and renders those out with navigation links to go forward. All right. So what I propose I could do, it'll take me longer than I think you would want to watch me do this on the live stream, but is to test that theory. Say, what is preset row ID? Oh, okay. So the preset ID here, right? Okay. So that's my theory. Or that's something I think I need to do to test the theory completely, is to say, okay, you know, on this view here, instead of showing me the name and the description, show me 2 other items from the details view and see if the problem now migrates and only happens when I edit those 2 items on, and see if I go back to this view. Because if that happens, to me, that, until other evidence is presented, makes it conclusive that, okay, it's got something to do with the items on this screen. If I present 2 other different fields on here, and it still happens when I edit the name and description on the edit preset, I don't know, I'm throwing my hands in the air at that point and saying this doesn't makes even less sense than it did before. But you remove description at one point, it still happened. Absolutely. However, let's think about that for a second, right? I removed this right here. So that should be enough to remove this completely from the view, because I don't it's not like I've got like a, you know, old school here, but a SQL statement that's still pulling the data or something like that, right? I mean, that's it. That data still exists. But then, like I say, so does all of the other data for each of those rows. The only difference is that I'm displaying those, and that's why I talked myself out of it, because we commented this out and it still happened. That's my problem here, is I would say, well, if we comment this out, we've sort of done what I'm already suggesting. Because I can't, as far as I'm aware, there's nothing else in this view. And I'm just looking here. Now, there's nothing else in this view that mentions that description for it to be an issue. Can we see preset? Yeah. So the preset is just a struct, right? Hashable, codable, with a list of all of the items for one particular preset, each piece of data. You're going to look at all the files until you figure this out. But don't take this the wrong way. I want to figure this out before you do, because otherwise I don't feel like I've learned where I went wrong. I understand what the solution was, but you know what I mean? It's kind of that you need the pain in the middle. Do you know what I mean? But this is a little bit more pain than I was planning for. However, Coco Type, I'm more than happy to open up my code base to you to take a look at it. How is this being used as an identifier in the for each? It's got to be identifiable at some point. I can answer that question. Because in the preset list view, you may recall on these for each loops, we do need to have an ID, right? But I'm not specifying one specifically as in the ID for each of those. It's just that generic one that you can put in a for each loop. Do you know what I mean by that, right? You know how if you don't have one of those, you have a problem, right? SwiftUI expects one. And so I always see everybody else, and myself for that matter, just by default, putting this in and saying, all right, this gives each one a unique identifier, each row. So you can work with that row, like the swipe to delete, and so on, right? Does that make sense? You're passing the self, exactly, key path, but that would only work if self conforms to identifiable, no? Well, I've not, so the interesting thing about that is, I've not done anything to make it identifiable, which to me, at least with my understanding, is it just happens it's given to us. It just happens for us, which I know is not exactly an answer, but it's one of those, I don't know what the magic under the hood is in SwiftUI that does it. It just does. I'm assuming get preset list returns preset. Yeah. Let's go into that. Yeah, so you give it an ID, and all it does is it goes through filters for the ID that you put in and returns, yes, that struct full of stuff, right? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab another drink here, because talking myself dry, and I will be. Oh wait, I think my Stream Deck started working again on all the stuff. I don't know what's up lately with the Stream Deck software. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Oh, the caps are back. Hang on, let me catch up here. Oh, sorry, get preset list, not get preset. Caps, because Peter was surprised when I didn't use them last time. I don't want to disappoint him again. Thank you. more than I already am. Okay. Well, so I don't So I don't disappoint you. Here you go. Get preset list. I should, if I'd have scrolled up just a few lines before I went to get my drink, right? So this one, yes, returns an array, right? It is basically an array with the mapping of all of the items. What is preset list display item? He really does want to see all the code, doesn't he? That's gonna, wait, where is that? Is that one in here? Which one did he want? It has name and description and only name. Oh, well spotted. Hang on. What is preset list display item? Where did you see that? Cocoa type. Where did you find that one? Oh, got it. Yeah. Oh. It's a type, mate. It's some kind of view model. I think it was. Yes. Yeah. It is. Yes, it is. Wait. You may be onto it here. He may no longer be disappointing me. Wait. You're using this as your ID. So if it changes, you reset your nav links. Yeah. Wow. You know what? Have we inadvertently proven my crazy theory? Dang. Have I actually got a theory that might be right for once? Yeah, remove it from this one. Remove it from the oh, hang on. Remove it from here. Sorry. Let me jump to the right thing. From here. Just with the wrong type. What? Wrong type? I thought you meant comment that how does ID change when you update the preset? No. In my data, no. In Swift's memory space, yeah, possibly. Okay, so hold on. Let's do this. So you're suggesting take that out of there. Chat's behind what I'm saying. What if I won't say anything for a minute. I'm thinking comment out here. This might break a few things. Hang on. Oh, yeah. I've done it to myself now, haven't I? Hang on. Okay. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So remove it from here. It's going to expect me to remove it from there. That. I don't think there's going to be many of these. Hang on. Yeah. So now we've got to remove the displayed one. That's fine. We're just doing what we did earlier. And like we said earlier, you know, was this still... Did I get them? Yeah. Was the underlying data changing that was still triggering it, right? Okay. Place your bets. So let's do this one first. This is still going to do it. Everybody agree? Right. I think the ultimate fix is going to be to change your ID field to ID, which should mean that it doesn't update. If this works, I'm with you. All right, so thank you. I convinced you of my original theory and you had the solution. So there you go. We did it. Joint effort. See? Told you. Yeah, wait. Here I am. We got to have a big win for this one, right? Is this worthy of 2 wins? Let's have 2. We don't have a clapping. Yeah. Well done, Cocoa Type. All right, so let's back out what we just did. Thank you, Cocoa Type. So the worst part about this is I convinced you of my crazy theory, and then you came up with a solution. The disturbing part is that my crazy theory was a good one and that you listened to it. We should both be happy and sad. All right, let's put this back in. Let's go back to, oops. Let's put that one back in. We're going to fix all these and get back to where we were, right? It was the right theory. I just assumed too much about how your preset list worked. So actually we're back on safe ground because it was a crazy theory that turned out to be right, but you made an assumption based on my code being better than it was. So we're actually back on normal ground and we all feel safe again. Okay, yeah, it didn't even occur to me to look in here, so well done. Okay, wait, we got to find, where was the other one I took it out from? Oh, here, right. So we're back to our original problem, right? But fine, we got the description back. Let's just make sure I didn't miss something. Okay. Wow. See? Something so simple and yet complicated. All right, that's that one. Let's go now to our preset list. And we think this is the offender. Agreed? But what I'm not sure on is what this should be changed to. I guess it could be yeah, that's what I was thinking, as in the actual ID for the preset, right? That's what I was thinking. I think that's what you're thinking too. Okay. Okay, we know we're in trouble because even the compiler thinks it might be okay. All right, let's run our tests. Blah test. So is this fixed and fixed? Let's change both of those. Okay. Now let's change. Let's make sure we didn't break one of the others. I don't think we did, but okay. Awesome. That's still good. Now here's what I'm wondering. The scenario here, good. As weird as that seems, that's actually right because we haven't changed anything. There's nothing to update, right? So it actually does make sense now. Even though I still don't know where that navigation is coming from, it actually does make sense. I think that's it. One final check. Let's make sure it's persistent. So I think you burned up all your credits, buddy. Well done, Cocoa Type. I had every confidence in you. Thank you. Let's see, how many different ways did he change it? 1, 2, 3. I'm not. Oh, 4, 5. Look at you, just rolling them out. Yeah. And a monochrome one. I see what you did there. A monochrome one on the end because we did a monochrome preset. Ah, nice. Awesome. What a weird thing. But now we know what it was. So weird that it didn't even occur to me. Well, actually, so lesson learned here going forward with this, not just in this, but any Swift UI, be wary of what's happening in that view stack below your current view. If you find you have weird navigation issues like I did, it could be something like this tripping you up, and that's a good thing to learn and know. It all came down to a net change of 2 characters. Yeah, right? So this is actually a good warning for anyone doing Swift UI, that if you get weird navigation that you don't expect, it could be because of something like this happening that trips a repaint that sort of pops it back into the higher in the stack to see it. How bizarre, but better to find these things out now than later on, right? Whew, thank you, CocoType. Thank you, everybody, for hanging in there. What a weird little bug, but a good one to fix. All right. CocoType, has this convinced you to stay well away from SwiftUI now? At this point, anybody in the chat room watching the stream, have we all convinced ourselves to stay way away from SwiftUI? Suddenly, all of the things we hated about storyboards and constraints and everything else feels a little safer, doesn't it? Okay, now you need to spend all of my next stream fixing one of my bugs. And then Nutterfly says I'm in too deep. You know, folks, for any of you who've not seen Nutterfly's stream when he's doing the Swift UI stuff, you should. It's amazing. And I'm not saying that because he's here, because you've all heard me mention it before. I dropped in on Nutterfly's stream. I found it randomly one night, and the stuff that he was doing with the Spider-Man type menu, that was amazing, truly amazing. Easily, I think, some of the probably the best Swift UI I've seen. No offense to anyone else, but it was awesome. It was incredible. Nicholas, yeah, I think you saw it, right? Yeah. Okay, CocoType. Yeah, I'm going to have to drop in on your next stream and fix a bug for you now. If you could make it something to do with list views in Swift UI, not updating some IDs, I think I can help you out there. I'm trying to think. I think the last one that I gave you was the local notification, right? Yeah. Yeah, no, Notify. Seriously, your stuff is. I've watched that stream, and I've not been back in a little while because I've been busy. But amazing, your Swift UI stuff really is like, whoa! Didn't even think that could be a thing. Yeah, and it is fun to play with this. It's fun to play with it here on this too when you have CocoType to fix the bug for you. Yeah. And I didn't even have to ship him a copy of my repo this time. Yeah, okay, CocoType. I think I owe you a couple of bug fixes for that, for sure. Yeah. As long as they're not fixes in the game. Oh my goodness. Because I'm desperately trying to keep up with my code on that. I got to catch up on my own code on that game there. But yeah. Oh, that was an exhausting one. So we actually achieved at the end of this, and I say we because it is always a community thing. That's one of the things I love about doing this stream is all of you in the chat room and watching. I did get my screenshots and I fixed this bug. Well, I had someone else fix this bug for me. Let's be completely honest with this. Just got to get you to show all the files on the stream. CocoType, what I'll do is next time I'll set up multiple screens and you can just page through each of the code files. All right, does that work for you? I it's going to be that one line right there, right? That's what it is. And I remember this because the funny thing is about this file, this was one of the first things I set up because, well, you can see how old this code is, right? Because I started with just another lesson here is I started by just mocking up, right, an array of data in the application, in the code, in the application setup code, to just populate it with data while I was building out the views. And that's how I ended up with this file. And interestingly, that sort of led me astray a little bit here because I just assumed everything was fine, left it and moved on, right? Yeah. You fixed the bug. I just told you how to fix it. No, I typed characters. It's not the same thing. Yeah. All right. Dang. Coco type, but I know why you're really doing this. You're doing this so that I'll ship the darn thing, right? And I'm actually wondering, seriously, I asked this question earlier about something else, but part of what we do when we're doing these apps, right? And I know that this is the CompileSwift stream, meaning Swift, but I'm actually thinking of live streaming as I build the supporting website for this app as well, because I think that would be interesting to developers, software app developers who've never had any experience doing any web stuff, even for things like, no more excuses, yeah, right? Things like the fact that we have to provide privacy policies and link to those now and all of that stuff. So I'm actually seriously considering, and let me know in the chat room, but SwiftUi's website. I'll do mine with React probably on a static site, probably a static site generator, maybe even Next.js, because I'm working with that at the moment, and then putting it on Netlify or something. But I think there would be value in sharing that on a live stream with everyone to see parts of the store process that don't normally get covered, like how do I make a very basic website to put up my privacy policy and any other information that you do have to supply for the App Store now, right? Because that is part of this too. You got to do that, and I got to do that. So Nicholas says it'll be cool. So yeah, Nicholas, I'll do that. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I've never been able to let my web development background from all those years go, and I think that would be part of the fun to show that as well. Notify, great idea. Thank you. Yeah, because it is part of this whole process, right? You're ready to ship the app, and if it's a new app like this one, for example, you probably don't have a website, and you will need to have a privacy policy probably, or Apple will ding you for it, and you will need to supply some other data, all of which you may not know how to do, right? You may be the best best app developer ever, but if you've never done the website to know where that goes as well, you're going to come unstuck there because you got to supply these things these days, right? So I will. Maybe that is, once I've wrapped this up, that's going to be a stream very soon then, is what that'll be. Yeah. All right, folks, we're a couple of hours into this and I'm exhausted. But I'm super happy we got this stuff fixed. I think I'm going to leave it there for this week. You can reach me as always, CompileSwift, everything, right? Just so you know, I'm working on something for the podcast at the moment where I'm going to try and set up with, Evan K. Stone, maybe a name that some of you know at least, who has, a podcast and some other stuff. And he has the Swift remote. Let me pull it up here. I'll show you. I'm going to try and see if I can do an interview with him. I can mention it because we've already discussed the idea. Give me a second here and I'll find it for you. If you don't know about the Swift Remote Studio, this may be something you want to look into. Hang on, it's expanded it on the wrong screen. There you go. So SwiftRemoteStudio.com is the let me go back here. Is a project that he set up, and I really like it, and it's a great idea. And I'm gonna get with him, and we're gonna talk about this and the ideas behind this project and the whole community thing with it and everything else. So just so you know, that's going to be coming up soon. Hopefully, we're going to get that together and then record it and set that up. I'm also going to talk about it in a podcast coming up soon. But if you go to CompileSwift.com, you'll find all the podcasts, all the links, all the social stuff, everything else there as well. And of course, CompileSwift.live for this. But please, 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 anything at all, reach out to me. I always love helping people where I can with this stuff. And as we're learning it together, hoping that on Wednesday, I'll be back Wednesday night to do another round of Sprite Kit stuff with the gaming, and we're going to work some more on the game, that the community game that we all contribute to the code base on. That's going well. We're having a lot of fun with that. And with that, I think we will leave it there for now. I'm going to check this stuff in before I lose it again. And a huge shout out to CocoType and everybody else in the chat room for helping out today and for just being here. It's all of you that make this fun and make it something that I look forward to doing in the evenings. With that, don't forget, CocoType, you streaming tomorrow. Nutterfly, when are you streaming next? CocoType normally does Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And Nutterfly, I'm not sure on your schedule, but please, both of you, put your streaming stuff in the chat there so other people can see it and check it out, because you guys are awesome. All right, Nutterfly will be on Tuesday. Yeah, no problem, buddy. Great, always shouting you out, because just your stuff is such an inspiration and such an enjoyable stream. I've missed the last few, but they're always good. CocoType is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh, he's going to be doing some Lottie animations. Oh, I can't debug your Lottie animation. I've never done one, but I will have to try and check that out, because I've never done them. I know what they are, and I always hear people talking about them. And I want to see some of that stuff. So check that out, folks. Tomorrow, some animation stuff with CocoType, and then on Tuesday, go check out Nutterfly's streaming. And I may even try and get some game streaming in this week as well. And trying that. It's my fault anyway. Yes, yeah, it's my fault. All right, folks, I'm gonna leave it there. I gotta wrap up. Got an early start Monday morning because it's Monday, right? Have a good one, and thank you again so much for hanging out tonight. I greatly appreciate you all taking the time and trouble and making this so much fun. As for the onboarding, oh, okay, you've got to check that out. Yes, he's doing the onboarding. Good. I talked him into it. Excellent. I did a design of, well, don't use my design. It was terrible, but totally do that, dude. I want to see how that works, because I couldn't do the animation in Sketch like I wanted to. Yeah, awesome. Have fun, everybody. Hopefully I'll see you all on CocoType stream tomorrow. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.